Children, a bundle of joy in our lives. Many of us already have children, or we hope to have them. But the number of sleepless nights, the less time to unplug from daily life, the family problems, the list goes on and on. Is it truly logical? And boy, it is costly. You gotta pay for healthcare, education, insurance. You get what I mean? And time again, people still choose to have children. When you compare it with sustainable living, many people also find it inconvenient and costly. But most of us still choose not to do it. Here's why we think so. Number one, people can't feel the tangible impacts of their everyday actions, unlike raising children. Number two, it's not that Singaporeans do not care about sustainable living. Actually, 8 in 10 people know that sustainable living is important. But the key point here is that more than half of them don't know how to do so. And number three, even if they know how to live sustainably, a big portion of them are turned off by the inconvenience of doing so. And this is where we come in. We are the SUSnoobs, and we aim to be the go-to sustainability content creator that helps to bring youth from awareness to action. We name ourselves the SUSnoobs because we want to help noobs to start off on their sustainable journey. Hence, we target 18 to 35-year-old SUSnoobs who aren't sure about how to live sustainably, and they are the perfect fit. They are social media savvy, they have the ability and influence to make their own decisions, and they are more interested in sustainability than their younger counterparts.
Here's our content strategy. So it covers 5 aspects. The first is that we consolidate sustainable initiatives and businesses that our audience can support, as well as compile practical tips that is easy for our audience to put into practice. The second one is that our content is easy to digest. So basically what we do is we break down the complicated and complex information on sustainability into easy to understand infographics so that the average SUSnoob can understand and learn and practice these green habits. The third one is that we include imperfect everyday stories in our content, and we also encourage open and honest conversations within our community in order to normalize as well as to lower the barriers of entry to sustainable living. The fourth is that we include impact metrics that are tangible and relatable to the layman in our content so that people will realize the sizable amount of positive impact they can make when they choose to live sustainably. And the fifth is we aim to grow a supportive community of SUSnoobs that are able to spur each other on their sustainable journeys. So here's an example of our content. You can see that our illustrations are very simple, so they're easy to digest. And we also include impact matrix, so we place emphasis on the importance of individual actions. 2 things set us apart from other content creators in the scene. The first is our focus and appeal to SUSnoobs with little to no knowledge. So we make sure that even those who are completely new to the sustainability field can understand our content. And the second is that we highlight tangible impact, as shown in the previous slide, in order to spur people to actually perform those green actions. So in November last year, we created Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube accounts to carry out a desirability test. And we have 16 posts across all 4 platforms. We managed to reach 4,127 accounts, gain 238 likes, as well as 58 followers just in 2 months. And we also surveyed our target audience in order to see what content they'd like to see. And if we categorize their responses into the 4 aspects I mentioned earlier, you'll be able to see that our content appeals to our target audience.
Test. Here is our implementation plan. And we are currently in phase 1 right now, where we are establishing our audience by releasing content on social media, like tips and tricks on Instagram. We are also building a rapport with sustainable initiatives and advocates on social media. And after creating our online presence, we will then move on to expand our network by collaborating and creating content with other sustainability initiatives to share their dreams and insights in the sustainability industry. Not only will we be able to extend our reach, but we can also introduce these change makers to our community. For phase 3, we will then move on to catalyze the process from awareness to action by creating experiences. By co-conducting events like tree planting and in-person conversations with sustainability initiatives, our audience will be able to mingle with like-minded people in a very kampong spirit fashion. And this is where we can create a community that really spurs each other on to overcome the inertia of forming new habits. Now, on to money matters. We are asking for a 20K grant, where 66% will go to content production, 24% to marketing, and 10% to events. We aim to achieve the following by June 2023. 5 to 7K monthly audience reach, 6 collaborations with stakeholders, and at least 20 people guided from awareness to action. We measure this by comparing our engagement levels on social media and as well as post and pre-event surveys during our actual events. And with that, once again, we are the SUSnoobs, comprising of Grace, Caitlin, myself, Sajida, May, and Kaijun. And our lifestyles are really killing our children. It's about time to fix that. Let's go green or go home. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. That's all. Thank you very much, and Happy Chinese New Year.
Thank you. May we please now invite questions or comments from the judges?
Checking, yeah. Thanks for presentation again. So it's more content, right? You're creating platforms to send out all this useful content, but is it more about content that you originate, or you're just repurposing content from out there? And I get the point about making it bite-sized, easy to consume. So, yeah, where is your base of content from? Okay, and how do you differentiate from other content providers out there?
Testing. Okay, thank you for your question. I think for us, it's a two-pronged approach. So we do create our own content, but another part of it is actually we want to bring in all the different stakeholders. Like, for example, YIC, you have such a brilliant teams, right, with all their different ideas, but how do we reach these ideas to the public? How do we involve everybody, not only just the SUSnoobs, but also sustainability stakeholders? I think that's the part where we're not exactly creating our own content, but we want to collaborate with other people to bring out their content also, if you get what I mean, and really build a community. I think that's our angle. We want to build a community that involves all the different aspects of people in the sustainability industry. So our content will originate from not only us, but also all the different players that we hope to collaborate with. Yeah, anything to add? Okay, yeah. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you, team. I'm trying to understand your revenue model. Is this for profit, not for profit? What is the thought process?
Okay, I'll take this question. So currently we are not making profit, but we do have a few nascent ideas planned out. And currently we are, so for example, we are able to gain revenue through AdSense on YouTube. We haven't started that yet, but that's like our future plan. As well as, for example, when sustainable businesses sponsor us to promote their products. That's another example. Yeah, so to answer your question, we are planning to make revenue in the future, but as of now, we are not making any revenue.
Understand. So you're at the stage where you're just trying to get enough subscriber and platform reach to your Insta, TikToks, etc. And then with that, then you're able to then command a better, I would say, platform for these advertising spaces, etc. Correct?
Yes,
Thank
that's
you.
correct.
Right, yeah. I don't have a question. I think I have similar thoughts about, how you should think now, about generating revenue streams, all right? Because that will really sustain you and then grow your community because you need that, yeah? And I think I just want to bring out a point, the point that, in YAC, you already have like 20, 30, like-minded people in the environmental team. And that's a very, very good start for you to build a community. All right, I think that you should really work on that.
Thank you for the advice.
Are there any further questions or comments from the judges? Okay. Otherwise, we can end the Q&A session. Thank you, the SUSnoobs.